Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And I guess if you clicked on it, you want to know, is it just I want to know, is it just me? But you want to know, is it just you? So with that being said, let's get straight into this video and get to talking about whatever it is that you want to know. Is it just you, or is it just us? Is it everybody? All right, so with that being said, let's all right, I'm gonna try my best to break this down as much as I can. So first of all, I've been noticing a lot of things with myself. I've been noticing that I really am finding myself not being as much on my phone, like keeping my phone away from me in reference to having it close by or what have you. Matter of fact, hold on, so I need to put this on silent really quick just in case my husband called me while I'm trying to record this video, okay? But whatever. Needless to say, I've been noticing that, like, of course, especially if my husband is home, I don't have my phone by me. I'll leave it in the room, or I'll just have it sitting somewhere and not even pay it no mind. I also been noticing things like sometimes I'll get phone calls and I really can't talk as much, or sometimes I'm really not in the headspace to talk at the moment. And some people who call may seem like, dag, like, you know, sometimes I'll text back right away and just say, hey, you know, can I talk to you later, or so on and so forth. But I've been finding myself in this headspace lately where it's not to say that I don't want to be bothered, but I'm almost to the point where I'm learning that it's times that I just don't want to talk, or I don't want to, and I'm just alone with my thoughts. And I remember when I used to think that that was a bad thing, because I will always beat myself up about stuff, or I will always feel like I'm making bad decisions. And you know, when I was younger, I would feel like I chose the wrong friends, or you know, I said something wrong, or I did something wrong, and I never wanted to be alone with those thoughts because I was always questioning myself. But I'm to the point now where I guess I'm sure of who I am. I'm learning more about who I am, and I'm learning that it's okay to want to be alone. Now, with that being said, I'm going to tell you guys really quick that I actually have a friend, well, had a friend. Well, I would consider her to still be my friend, but I just don't talk to her as often. Like, I haven't talked to her in maybe maybe about 4 or 5 years, okay? But when I was on social media, and that will be a whole nother video on me shutting down my social medias. I do want to talk to you guys about that. But needless to say, when I was on social media, I would talk to her, so on and so forth, like back and forth on social media, but not necessarily on the phone. I have not talked to her on the phone in over 4 or 5 years. And needless to say, she used to do this thing where you would talk to her, she would be fine, and then all of a sudden it's almost like she disappeared off the face of earth. Like, where did she go? And I used to wonder, like, how did she just do that? Like, people be worried about her, people be, you know, but you know, in my mind, I would say I would be worried about her, or I want to know how her and the kids is doing, how her and her husband or whatever, how their family is doing, so on and so forth. And I would be wondering, and I used to ask myself all the time, like, how do she do that? And I was like, I know I wouldn't be able to do it. But now I've come to the understanding where exactly where she was, it's not as hard as you think when you get to the point that everything that's around you right here in front of your face is what's most important. When you learn that, you begin to understand that everything on the outside is not necessarily, not to say that it's not important, but it's really not important. And it's not to say that we don't love the people on the outside, to say, you know, oh, people on the outside, we don't love y'all anymore. No, it's not to say that. It's just to say that we're to the point in our life where we're understanding, wow, I didn't realize how blessed I was to have this right here, which is my family, my children, my, you know, my husband. And you get to the point where, because that's so important to you, you don't want to lose a moment. Now, you guys, I'm in this whole nother mindset where Deani, you guys know that we are a blended family and we have a large blended family, and we are grandparents and everything of that nature. And so, needless to say, Jordan and Deani are the last two in school. All the rest of our kids, we just had our youngest son. Our youngest son from my husband's, you know, past marriage, he just graduated from high school. And you guys, when he graduated, it felt like so weird, because I still remember them just being so young when me and my husband first met, and being in school and so on and so forth. So for him to graduate, it was like a huge, like, knock on the door, like, you better understand, these kids are growing up. So with that being said, you know, Jordan and Deani are the last two in school, and I just feel like it's literally like I close my eyes, and when I open them, they are going to be like, we about to move out. And so in this aspect of my life, I'm also to the point where I'm trying to comprehend the fact that my children, the last two children, are about to leave home soon. Now, somebody might say, Key or Lady K or Kenosha, really, like, Jordan is about to be in 10th grade. Deani is about to be in 8th grade. Like, Deani is in her last year of middle school. Next year, both of them will be in high school. And somebody might like, okay, but Key, you still got 11th and 12th for Jordan, and you still got 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th for Deani. So you still got 4 years for Deani. So to somebody else, that may not seem like, it seems like a long time. But for me, the way that I do things in my mental, and the way that Lady K thinks, is I like to have things organized, and I like to mentally prepare myself. And sometimes when I'm going to be very honest with you guys, is it just me? But sometimes when I don't mentally prepare myself for certain things, when it happens, it is like a huge toll, not just on my mental state, but my physical state. And it's almost like I shut down. I don't want to eat. I kind of feel sick. Depending on what it is, I kind of feel sick. I feel like I feel so irritable, and I don't want to be bothered. And I remember asking God this one time. I said, God, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like I feel so, I don't know, like I can't describe it. And he said, because it's like almost like a curved ball was thrown your way. Now listen, let me pause right here, because somebody might say, well, how do you deal with that being thrown your way versus God throwing a curveball your way? God throwing a curveball my way is okay, because I feel like him as my parent, him as my daddy, him as my provider, him as my lifeline, him as the one that makes sure that everything goes the way that it goes, in the positions that it goes the way that it goes. It's okay, because I know that he knows the end result. Versus somebody that knows me throws me a curveball, it's like, you didn't care about how I thought, if that makes sense. I'm trying my best to explain it as best as I can. And so when that happened, and God said it was because you were thrown a curved ball, but it's okay, calm down. And it has been times where where situations has thrown a curved ball to me, and instantly God changes it, because he's like, I can see how much you aren't going to be able to handle this right now, so let me change it. And God has changed it on my behalf. So I'm saying all of that to say, the kids moving out in about not moving out, but graduating from high school in about 4 years, or 2 years for Jordan, 4 years for Deani. For me, I'm preparing my mental state to say, okay, mommy mode is about to be almost at a halt. My life has been surrounded on being a mom. My life has now been surrounded on being a wife. And everybody, now listen, everybody is not going to get this. Everybody is not. And I'm okay. Listen, I promise you I'm okay if you don't get it. But my role as being a mom, my role as being a wife are very important to me. and it's my all in all. So when that begins to look different, I'm preparing my mental for how that's going to look. Okay, so with that being said, in addition to that, I'm also to the point where I'm recognizing that I don't have time for a whole bunch of madness. I don't have time for a whole bunch of lies. I don't have time for a whole bunch of I feel like I like you today and I feel like I don't like you tomorrow, and I feel like I don't have time for a lot of that stuff. So with that played a huge part on me being able to be comfortable mentally with pulling away from social media. Even here on YouTube, I've gotten to the point where when I first started my YouTube, and I think I talked about this before, but when I first started my YouTube, I used to be like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do this. I seen somebody do this and I think I should do it like this, and I think, and this will get me known better, or this will get me more likes, or this will get me more views, and this will get my numbers up. And that used to be me. But I'm to the point now where God has said to me on the other day when I recently posted the prayer. If you did not see the prayer, I'm gonna make it zoom in like right here somewhere, or here. It's gonna pop up somewhere on the screen. But when I recently did that post and I went live and I prayed, and I realized that it was a prophetic prayer. It wasn't just a let's just pray, but it was a lot of prophetic things that God was giving me. And God, when I got off, I prayed again, because I always pray before I go live or before I record, and I always try to pray after I record, because I want to make sure that God is getting the glory out of whatever I do. So if you're noticing that my YouTube channel has changed, that's why, because I'm moving the way that God is telling me to move, and I'm turning the way God is telling me to turn. So if he say turn here, I'm just gonna stop what I'm doing and I'm just gonna turn. So needless to say, when I got off, I sat there and I prayed and I said, you know, God, I'm not sure how this went or what made it go this way, but I'm glad that you did whatever it is that you wanted to do. And then instantly I realized, I prayed and I said, God, I really need you to help me, because I know sometimes it's easier said than done when it comes down to making these YouTube videos. And I don't think people take in consideration sometimes how hard it is to get behind this camera and create videos or create content that is going to be played. Number one, everybody ain't gonna like what you're recording. Everybody is not gonna like what you're saying. And so needless to say, I said, God, I need you to help me, because I want to make sure that I'm always doing what it is you want me to do. Was there anything else that I needed to say that I did not? And God said, nope, you said exactly what it is that I wanted you to say. But I want to tell you something. And I said, okay, God, I'm listening. And he said, I want you to understand, everybody is not going to play some of these videos with some of the things that I'm telling you to say. And I said, okay, God. He said, because you're going to be one of the prophets that I am calling to say certain things that people are not going to want to hear. And you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with being someone who is in tune to my mouth and hearing everything that I say. And you're so in tune to, you can tell what it is I want to say and what it is I don't want to say. So it's things that God said to me even in that video that I could not say, and it was things that he said to me that I had to say. But as a prophetic person, it's like I gotta say what God tells me to say. But also as a person who's doing YouTube, it's kind of hard, because in my mind it's like I just want to make sure that I'm giving the content that I thought I was going to give. But needless to say, to go back to what I said, I'm to the point now where I don't care. And I don't know if is it just me, Or is it you too that is to the point now where you're making decisions, you don't care what anybody got to say, you don't care what anybody got to, you don't care. And it's to that point where I'm to that point, I don't care what people think. If you don't never click on the video, it's okay. Because that one person who may click on it, they gonna get what they need. Or maybe I post the video today and it don't get no clicks for the next 8 months. It's okay, because 8 months from now, somebody's going to stumble across this video and be like, oh my God, I needed to hear this all of this time. And where was she when I really, when I thought that I needed this? Or somebody is going to stumble across you and they're going to say, oh my God, I didn't understand how much good stuff was out here because I was so caught up in the bad stuff. I'm not saying everybody is bad, but what I'm saying is it's a handful of people that's out here that are producing unlikely stuff that is getting noticed because of the fact that it's not what everybody want to hear. But there's also that same group of people don't care. I'm one of those groups. Is it just me? I want to know, is it just me? Or is it literally that you just don't care about what people say anymore? You just don't care about people's opinion, because the number of likes that you get can change how you feel you did. So now I'm giving you the power to show me my worth. What? You don't deserve the power to show me how much I'm worth. Because if I literally put that in your hands, you would say that I'm just worth nothing, or that I'm just worth this amount. And really, God is saying you're worth so much more, and you have so much in you that I just need you to say. But just keep saying it, even if it ain't never going to be any listeners. So with that being said, it's not just me. I know it's people that's out there, and if it's not you and you don't agree, that's fine. I understand. I ain't even mad at you, okay? I'm not even mad at you. And if you made it this far, you must be one of those people, because you're still here, you're still listening. So with that being said, also, you know, I'm also learning that y'all, oh my gosh, can I be honest? I'm gonna be honest, okay? Y'all, I used to feel like I had to look a certain way. I had to do it a certain way. Whoever gave a book to a platform that you created? I'll wait. Go ahead. Type your answer below. Whoever said that there's a template? So if I'm saying that this is my channel, whoever said that okay, Lady K, yeah, that's your channel, here's the template to do it? No, nobody gave me a template and said, here is what you do on your channel. Now, there are some templates. There are some templates out there. And some of these situations that come with some of these templates are templates that put you more in bondage, more and things that you don't even want to be a part of. And before you know it, you just as crazy as these people, and you don't even know why. But that's why, because you took on a template that didn't belong to you. Is it just me, or is it you too, that is to the point where you are tired of taking on templates that don't belong to you? I know I am. So with that being said, I pray that y'all meet me next week for part 2 in reference to social media. And matter of fact, I'm feeling a little pumped. I might even just stop this video and just record the next video. So if you see me looking the same, mind your business. Just mind your business. Okay? Catch me for part 2. I love you guys. Bye.